and welcome everyone to this morning's session. We have a great session this morning. We're going to have some talks, a talk on mindfulness. We're going to have a digital escape room, and we're going to have a talk on a career-oriented learning experience design. So some really interesting sessions which all focus in different ways on resilience, well-being, and how that relates to digital. To start with, the first talk is going to be a video, so we'll go to that video now, and it's going to be a talk on mindfulness intervention courses in STEM education. So we'll have that video now.
Welcome, everybody. I am Eunmi Kim, the first author for the presentation. So this presentation is about the mindfulness intervention course in STEM education. Now we know that there are many movements around the world to introduce the mindfulness practice into the education. But at least in Korea, this is probably the first try to incorporate this mindfulness intervention in STEM education. You may see the carry-on in the middle of the first slide, and that is the symbol of KAIST, the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology in Daejeon. So as you see in this slide, mindfulness is a state of purposeful self-consciousness that can improve physical and mental well-being across various fields. And what does that mean? So before we go, why don't I introduce for us, not others, for us to taste a little bit of mindfulness. So, can I invite you to sit comfortably if you are sitting on the chair or on the floor? Or if you are standing on the floor? Or if you are doing anything just for a minute or so, pause a little bit and slowing down a little bit and coming back to this moment, to your body. Bring your attention to the touching area of your body. Maybe your hips, maybe your toes, soles of the feet. And observing the weight of the body. And maybe hardening. And maybe softness of the touching area of your body. And the anything that your body is touching now. Maybe feeling the weight on the left, on the right. Maybe your body is tilting a little bit forward or backward. No need to change, but just observing the state as it is. And at some point, bring your attention to the breath. Maybe around the nose, around the belly or chest, wherever the breath simply noticing the in-breath as in and out-breath as out. And now, with this quality of attention cultivated, embodied within yourself, simply noticing the sound. No need to naming the sound, but noticing the sound far, near, big, small. The sound coming and going. Maybe the space between the sound. Now, with the quality of attention, firmly grounded here in your body, in your breath. Gently opening your eyes and coming back to this moment. So this is a simple practice of mindfulness. So we were focusing on the breath and on the body and on the sound. So now we're gonna call this course mindfulness-based interventions. So MBIs. One of the MBIs was being taught at KAIST from last year for international students. And why do we need this MBI in education? You just experienced how this simple practice helps you to release a little bit of stress and depression and anxiety. You know, these are stress, anxiety, depression, sad, and sleep deprivation and suicidal thoughts. From the evidence-based research, those main categories were studied a lot. For MBI has the benefit for many people. Of course, this the benefit of MBI in education. Students can benefit from the academic performance and coping abilities and overall health. And so academic curriculums, mindfulness and MBIs and cognitive-based therapies has been incorporated in many higher educations, such as medical schools and law schools. And although in K-12 education, the MBI has been incorporated in the international education world. And we know that MBI, do we have to repeat the need of MBI again? Or do we want to just review the advantages of MBIs? So the advantages of MBIs: improved attention. We just, simple practice told us how we can come back to this moment with an enhanced attention and higher grades. Yes, you can search a lot of scholarly academic journals and wiser decisions. Mm-hmm. And in Korea education has many benefits for academic and economic success for Korea. So it is known that extremely competitive education system, lack of parental empathy, academic success-oriented society, and elitism. Yes. So just now I told you that in medical schools and law schools, they are trying to teach and incorporate the MBI for their curriculums. And why not for STEM education also? STEM means science and technology, engineering and mathematics. It is also very competitive. Okay. So in Korea, last semester, I was lucky to have this chance to teach the MBI for undergraduate students. And it's a sad story, actually. The KAIST is famous for Koreans, but it is also notorious for its highly competitive, highly suicide rate and depression among students. And maybe why? Competitive homogeneity and emotional immaturity, individualistic atmosphere. And before I'm gonna introduce Erva to share the method and result part, I'm gonna share a personal story of myself. I'm also a graduate from the undergraduate KAIST 30 years ago. And at that time, I was also stressed out a lot. And I decided to help my colleagues and my students when I know the benefit from the mindfulness practices. So this is, this presentation is one of or part of my contribution to KAIST. Okay, Erva, can you share?
Hi, everybody. In the previous slides, Gina mentioned about the necessity of NDI and the education of KAIST. I'm going to be introducing our methodology and the results part. The MBI course in KAIST was offered to Center for Contemplative Science and the KAIST Global Leadership Center. And actually, we see those kind of intervention as a bridge between humanities and the science research, and to bring the enjoyability and the productivity together at the same time. So that was the first MBI course at KAIST, and it was given under the model of the leadership and the humanity. And 26 students, undergraduate students joined the course, including freshmen, sophomores, and juniors also. And it took 10 weeks to complete the course. And we provided weekly 2.5-hour sessions. And now if you look at the structure of the course, you will see the general practices, which includes yoga and the breathing meditation. And each week has its own unique themes, like coping with stress, mindful eating, mindful test taking, and students were able to experience to manage their stress. And like we provided the activities depending on the themes. And how we analyze our data, we provided 8 questions, created these questions, and the questions we asked students to answer them end of the course. And the questions based on like their personal experience and on body and the stress and enjoyment of the course, duration and environment, and also sustainability of the course in the circle. And also to analyze the data, we used the grounded theory approach after I created our course. So now take a look at the results. And after getting the feedback, and 7 students experienced that increased physical awareness, and also all of the students mentioned about the physical relaxation during the course. And also we see that all students enjoyed the course during this 10-week process, and they think this course is recommendable. So if we look as a compact our results, we see that emotional intelligence, improved emotional intelligence among students, after the course, they were able to manage their emotion and they were able to respond to their needs. And the physical awareness, and they were able to again to recognize the sense and the feelings on their body. And lastly, we see that they really enjoy, they have joy during each session and all of the 10 weeks. So now Dina again is going to explain in discussion part in detail. Okay, thank you so much.
This is a time for us to practice mindfulness while waiting for bus, while waiting in line, while waiting for your food, while waiting for your test. 30 years ago, I was really shocked, actually. My third year, junior year. After the final exam, one of my colleagues was dead in the campus. We had a campus funeral. Because of the final exam, we were so much stressed out. So I was saying that, highly homogeneous students at KAIST, and actually the students, they don't think they are homogeneous each other because one and every other students are different. We are unique in many, many ways. But as a grown up, for me, who spent the early 20s in the campus, in KAIST, almost 15,000 community members are living in the campus. It's like a small town. Everybody stays in the town and they sleep in the same building. They eat in the same building. They study in the same building for 24 hours. So the students, for me also, I felt like I am being watched for 24 hours. So without understanding of this situation, it's not easy for us to understand how they are stressed out. So I, during teaching the MBI courses for the students, I was reminded of my undergraduate age, and I coming back to again and again. I know you and me, we are unique. We have our own qualities. And how do we cultivate the own quality, although we are stressed out? So after this 10-week MBI course, just Erva introduced, we had these benefits of MBI courses like intrinsic and extrinsic awareness. Intrinsic means, many MBI programs share the benefit of being aware of your breath, of your body, and of your environment. And from this MBI course, extrinsic awareness, because of my understanding of their situation, I was trying to bring their attention not within, but sharing with other colleagues. And we all know this course was offered last year during the pandemic, the first online MBI course. And although the course was offered through online, students said that they were taking advantage of the course, even though online. The third one is just before Erva said, in a small group activity, they were encouraged to active participate. So from this, students said they are connected to each other, although they were not allowed to come to the campus. They stayed in their hometown in many countries, but they were opening up their mind to each other. And they were encouraged to having the chance to share, to teach, to guide a little bit of mindfulness practice. So they share the benefit of becoming mindful leaders. And limitations? Yes, sure. As this course offered during the pandemic, we couldn't get many participants response. So this study has small number of participants, and then we didn't have comparison group. And actually, this is only the qualitative study, so we lack the quantitative data or scales or any physiological data. So what are we gonna do for now? Although this study is the first MBI course in STEM education, maybe we can tailor and improvise with better study designs for the future. And actually, that's what we are doing now. So thank you all for being here. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We are open to have any questions. Okay, thank you.
Very interesting session there, and very important topic, I think, in these challenging times, looking at mindfulness.